The OnePlus 7T Pro and its McLaren edition are official, but there seems to be a catch here. Some iPhone 11 users are apparently noticing cracks on their screen just out of the blue, and OPPO just announced their newest iteration of the Reno lineup, which they're dubbing the Ace. I'm Jaime Rivera, and yes, it's Wednesday. I honestly don't have a joke for today. Like, seriously, you guys complain about it, why don't you give me some suggestions in the comments? This is Pocketnow Daily. The official news today begin with deals if you're in the market for a 2019 flagship. Obviously, there are a ton of them that are aggressively priced, but if you're in the market for LG, I mean, it's going crazy. Right now, Amazon currently has the LG G8 ThinQ available for $350 off. This is the 128GB variant unlocked, and you can pretty much get it for $500 shipped. I don't need to say more. This is a good phone. It's got a good camera. It's just not made by Samsung, but there was a time when LG owned it. They killed it, and I think this phone is great. I do recommend it for $500. Now, as for product announcements, I mean, Xiaomi, and I don't know if we should even say Xiaomi because they're pretty much just using the brand Black Shark, has really killed it with their gaming phones. Our review did really well, but apparently things are extending. For those of you in Europe, the Black Shark 2 Pro is finally making its way. The main difference between it and the regular Black Shark 2 is the Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 Plus, the fact that we now have UFS 3.0 storage. It comes in 8 gigs of RAM in addition to also the option for 12, 128 gigs or 256 gigs of storage, and the price tag is 599 euros, which is actually a good deal. I love those whole controllers that make it feel like a Nintendo Switch. I think that that's probably the coolest approach. You can learn more in the description. Now let's move the spotlight over to OPPO, as the company has announced a new variant of the Reno, this time being dubbed the Ace. There are a couple of reasons why you should actually care. We covered some rumors of this phone earlier, and apparently it'll be launched in China first and expanding later. It packs either 8 or 12 gigs of RAM, 128 or 256 gigs of storage, a Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 Plus as well, 6.5 inches on display, 1080p, 90Hz refresh rate. 4 cameras at the back. They consist of a Sony IMX 48-megapixel sensor, 3-megapixel telephoto, 8-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 2-megapixel monochrome shooter that we actually see in the 2Z variant. It's also the fastest charging phone according to them, with a 65-watt charging option. And the coolest part is the price tag, $420. You can learn more in the description as well. Now, if you remember those leaks and rumors of a possible 5G variant being announced at the Pixel event, it seems that that's not the only product that's going to be the one more thing that we're getting. Apparently, there will also be a Pixel Watch that will finally be announced. The source pretty much also mentioned this in February, so it is a possibility. He's pretty much just also following up on this, though we don't really have specifications over what to expect. We know that Google acquired some portion of Fossil, and they've been working on this, so it makes sense. We're just not exactly sure if we're actually getting a product at this event. We'll keep you posted. Now, how about if we talk about iPhones and their durability, as I didn't have the best time with the iPhone XS. The 10 was fine, but my screen on the XS was already scratching up early, and apparently users with the iPhone 11 are having issues. Apparently these phones are getting scratches without any drops or incidents. Now, the cracks aren't too visible at the point where you could call it a shatter, but they can feel the different scratches all around the display, even after they have been using the phone for just 24 hours. Now, we're not exactly sure if this is a specific batch or whatever the case. We haven't had any issues with our units, but obviously we will be reporting back if we've had any issues. And finally, the hottest news today have to do with the OnePlus 7T Pro and the 7T Pro McLaren edition, in addition to the launch in Europe of the OnePlus 7T. For those of you wondering, yes, we were expecting these phones. There's only one configuration for the 7T Pro, which is 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, with the McLaren edition serving as the higher tier variant, 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. They both have minor upgrades like a 4085 mAh battery, a Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 Plus, and the Warp Charge 30T. In the cameras, we have the triple camera system with the new Nightscape and the new macro mode that we saw showcased on the 7T, which actually requires hardware to be possible. The 7T Pro will be retailing for around $762 if you do the conversion, $989 for the McLaren if you do the conversion from pounds to US dollars. Obviously, that is not necessarily the case. Think about it as when you look at the expansion, you see Europe and India. no mention of the United States. Let us know in the comments down below. I mean, what do you think? Obviously, the price tags are a little high, but we think it's a conversion issue. I think that those numbers are going to be more those same numbers in US dollars. But what if they don't get announced in the United States? Do you think it's a good idea for the US market to remain with the OnePlus 7 Pro, which is what's currently on the website, in addition to the 7T? Or do you think that it should be a good idea for OnePlus to bring the 7T Pro to the United States? Because in my case, you know, I like the 7T as it is. I would believe that it would be the smarter deal to bring the 7T Pro, at least the McLaren edition. But that's me. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you think, and also let us know what you think about these phones as well. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on Pocketnow.com and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Also, follow us on social medias. Our extended coverage happens on Instagram, and follow me on my personal channel to see what I do with these phones. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.